Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2018 horror film The Bad Man. And those of you with the clown complexes should steer well clear of this one, I would suggest. This is a film that is written and directed by Scott Shimmer, and it stars Ellie Church and Arthur Cullifer. And this is a film that focuses on Mary and her boyfriend PJ, who move in to her. I think it's a grandmother's. It's like bed and breakfast hotel. She's just recently passed away, and they're moving in to like sort out a few business affairs. And there is a knock at the door, and it is Lawrence who has got a booking at this bed and breakfast. However, Mary does state that her grandmother's passed away and they're not taking bookings anymore. So Lawrence is very respectful and says, "I'll be on my way." But she feels bad, Mary, so she offers to let him stay the night and she'll cook him a meal as his booking promised. During that evening meal, Lawrence discloses to PJ and Mary that for a living he is a clown, which freaks Mary out because she doesn't like clowns very much. And there's a nice normal conversation takes place around the table about clowns and other things. And then the following morning things take a nasty turn as Lawrence decides to show what he looks like in his clown makeup and takes them both hostage along with some help, and spends the next few weeks / months, and it's not particularly clear on the timeline, not that I remember, moulding Mary and PJ into these characters to be sold off at this weird auction site thing. Mary is to be a pretty girl, i.e. a doll, and PJ is to be moulded into like a human obedient dog. Initially they resist this process, but as you see as the movie goes on and on, they are tortured both physically and emotionally, and on a psychological level and physical level. They're both put through extremes to the point where Lawrence, the mad clown, or the bad man, he's intent on breaking their spirit and moulding them into these characters that can be sold off to the highest bidder. Right, just talking about this film kind of makes me feel a bit ill. This film is a bit of an oddity because it's a very competently made film in many ways, apart from the sound. It sounded very tinny at times. I wasn't keen on the sound, but the rest of it was competently acted by everybody, especially Ellie Church and Arthur Cullifer, who play Mary and Lawrence. They both do a really good job acting wise and stuff. It's a competently made film of a subject matter that isn't pleasant to watch. It really isn't. There's no other way to say it. I was deeply disturbed at times watching this film. It's at times a deeply disturbing film, and not in a good way. I can't overly criticise this film for being bad, because I have seen far worse. I think the idea, and I think there's probably an audience for a film like this out there. The idea is fairly interesting. It's just not a subject matter in a film that I'm particularly interested in watching again. Doesn't show anything overly graphic, I'll give it that. It indicates that certain things are taking place that is pretty disgusting, i.e. sexual things and surgeries that take place. And I just found the whole thing made my skin crawl as a movie, and that's probably the point. So if you're looking for a clown film that's going to seriously creep you out, you've hit the jackpot with this film. It is a pretty awful watch in that sense, but as a film, it's difficult to watch from my perspective, and I think some audience members are going to run away with their arms in their air screaming and watching a film like this. It's not nice to watch, and that's really all I want to say in this film. If you like psycho clown films, you're probably going to get something from this film. It's very low budget, the sound isn't brilliant, the acting's pretty competent, and there are some scenes you'll be watching through your fingers, definitely. So it's more like a psychological horror, this, rather than full-on horror. And I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, and I'm giving that 5 out of 10 because as a film it's competently made. But the subject matter was, and what I actually watched on the screen was pretty upsetting to me. So there are some of you who might watch this that don't mind that sort of thing, would score it maybe higher, and there are some of you who were so disgusted by what they've seen would certainly score it lower. So I'm going right in the middle with this score here. So that's my review for The Bad Man. I hope you found it useful, and I shall see you next time on Screen Stars.